lightning round. Aaron, we're going to start with you. It's a two-part question. Describe your current involvement in Forest Hill Schools. How have you personally invested your time, money, or energy into the district? And what makes you uniquely qualified to unite this school board?
I mentioned some of this at the beginning, but I feel like my kids do all of the things. I think between my two kids, they are on 9 different sports teams. They're also involved in music, also involved in drama, also involved in things outside of the district specifically that still have them interacting with Forest Hills kids and other kids. So I say the same thing that Jeff and Jeremy say. We're at all the things already, because whether my husband is coaching something, or I'm chaperoning a field trip, or helping set up the Scholastic Book Fair, or dropping off teacher snacks, we're there every week. This year, last year, the year before, next year, the year after that, the year after that. So it would be too difficult for me to list all of my kids' activities, except to say that they are still in the phase where they want to do everything. And I think that's one of the big strengths of Forest Hills, is being able to offer so many different things for so many different interests and help kids find their passion in a way that's supported by the schools and supported by the things that we are making a priority. And I think I'm uniquely qualified to do this because of the reasons I said before. I'm an active parent, I'm a lawyer, I'm a teacher. I have a lot of different ways that I see myself contributing in a real way to the future of the kids here. And so if you have any doubt that I will put every single ounce of my effort into this, my kids go here too.
Thank you. Forrest?
So I have been there, I've done all of that. And I continue, now my youngest is a senior, so it's a different time frame. In fact, looking at the next 4 years, we're all parents first. It's hard, not impossible, I was there, but it's hard to run 9 different sports and be involved in the school district and in the school board. The last 2 years I was on the board, I was spending probably 10 to 15 hours a week. This was during COVID, I mean, this was terrible times, but a week of doing this. And God bless my wonderful wife, okay? I mean, she is absolutely the rock of our family, and is able to push where I was doing things for the school board. She was doing some of the PTA mom, the Forest Hills Council. She was doing other things. We come as a family. So I actually look forward to the next 4 years of being able to even commit more time than I did back in the day when I was on the board and had all those other activities. What was the second part?
The second part was, well, I think you kind of hit it both. The question was, describe your involvement, how have you personally invested your time, money, and energy into the district, and then what makes you uniquely qualified.
And what makes me uniquely qualified? I mean, I've said it, I've been there, I've been involved in every part of the district, and I plan on being able to build on that to help the district to continue to exceed.
Thank you. Mark?
I'm the only one up here who just had his last kid leave the district. In fact, the first day of my first board meeting back in April was the first day in almost a quarter of a century that I did not have a kid sitting in Forest Hills, which I actually enjoy now, because as Forrest said, I've been there, done that. Like, I can see the big picture now sitting at 35, 40,000 feet, because I've had kids go all the way from preschool here all the way through high school. So now I get the opportunity. Obviously, back in March, 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans unanimously appointed me on the board seat, so they could see the qualifications that I had even back then. And it's a great opportunity for me, now that I have a little bit more time on my hands, because the kids have now, for the most part, left the house, that I can go to activities and go to fun things that I want to go to, not necessarily that I have to go to now. So I can go to the football games, I can go to the basketball games, I can go to the activities, simply as a board member. And I don't have this vested interest in one school or one activity. I can see it from a 30,000-foot level and really see, all right, what makes the most sense for this district, knowing that I have this 25, 30 years of experience of kids sitting here in these schools.
Thank you. Jeff?
I think the first part of the question was to describe some of your personal involvement in the schools. I touched a little bit on this, I think, in my opening. I've been volunteering in the schools since my kids started in Forest Hill Schools back in 2014. I've been a classroom reader, I've been a lunch parent, I've been a library helper. I've chaperoned field trips to museums and zoos and ballpark. I've chaperoned Camp Kern. I've chaperoned Blue Outs at Nagel, dances, on and on and on. I'd like to give you one example, though, of something my kids weren't involved in at all. I'm a lawyer, a litigator. I have an appellate practice when I can get it. And so I know some of the judges in the Court of Appeals. And I reached out to someone and said, hey, what if we took some students to the Court of Appeals? And so we got about 20, maybe 22 students, some from Turpin, some from Anderson. My kid wasn't one of them. Believe me, she doesn't care about the Court of Appeals. But I met with him a few times, told him what the cases were going to be like, what it's like to work in the Court of Appeals and litigate in the Court of Appeals. And then we took them down there. They saw some arguments, they met with the judges, they got a tour of the building, and then we brought the entire court to Titus Auditorium at Anderson High School for hundreds of students to see the court live and in person. So that's some examples of my personal involvement. I see it a lot of times, so I'm afraid I can't answer the rest of the question, but I guess I've got, sorry.
You have some, you have.
time.
Oh, I do have time.
Yeah.
She's giving me more time. Okay, the question was, what makes you uniquely qualified? I want to confess to all you people, it has not been my lifelong dream to serve on a local school board. But when I started going to school board meetings a few years ago, people would come up to me after the meeting and say, hey, thanks for what you said. Thanks for speaking up about this. And that's kept me coming back. I thought about running 2 years ago. Didn't think it was right for me to do it at the time, but people kept saying, you'd be good at this. Keep coming back. That's what's kept me coming back. So I've heard from many people that they think I've got a voice that needs to be heard, and that's why I want to serve.
Thank you. And Jeremy?
Thank you. So, my current involvement, I have a 6th grader and a 9th grader in Forest Hill Schools. They are involved in softball, tennis, soccer, music, choir, theater, and I've got one who wants to try karate. So, there's a lot going on. In addition to those things, I volunteer with the PTO. I have chaperoned field trips. I have worked 6th grade Olympic Day. I have been at VIP night at Maddox a couple of times. I will say I disagree with Forrest. It is not hard to do this. It is being willing to sacrifice. We're putting in 40 hours a week right now on top of what we're doing professionally just for this campaign. When elected, I will continue to do this with the board while my kids still do all of these activities. That does involve my wife doing a little bit more, but at the same time, I think it's important that we treat this professionally as a job and that we put our best foot forward. And if that means that I don't get to do some of the things I want to do because I have to spend a little bit of time after 10 or 11 p.m. reading, then so be it. That's something I'm more than happy to do. What makes me uniquely qualified is that I've spent the last 23 years inside of schools watching these policies play out and watching how they affect students and how they affect our staff, how they affect buildings and how they affect school cultures. And I think that's a perspective that will be unique to this board and will be helpful to us moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So that concludes the formal questions. We're going to do a real quick lightning round.